Most investors think seller financing is complicated, but they're wrong. It's actually the simplest way to buy real estate without banks or without credit checks or without huge down payments. I'm Andrew Schlag, and I've structured hundreds of seller financing deals this way, worth many tens of millions of dollars. And I've done most of them with very little money down, often even no money down. And then in this video, I'm going to show you the breakdown of the 5 steps to structure the perfect seller finance deal. Now, these are the exact steps that I use to turn maybes into signed contracts. And they work whether you're buying a $100,000 house or a $1 million property. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to structure the deals that sellers love, that put money in your pocket from day one. So let's dive in. Step 1 is find the right seller and situation. Not every seller is a good fit for owner financing. Now, most actually aren't. We're looking for the minority who are. The perfect seller is the one who wants to net more money over time. Whether the property's free and clear or they have a debt that you can take over. Often we buy from tired landlords or people just needing to move on, or divorce situations, or need debt relief. So who's our target audience? The first one, probably more than any, is landlords who are tired of dealing with tenants and toilets and trash. And they want passive income, real passive income, from somebody like you who's gonna buy the house and take responsibility. Number 2, retirees who want monthly cash flow, who want to net more money over time without risking it all in the stock market. Often estate solutions, inherited properties, where people want steady payments instead of managing the property. The key question to ask is, if you knew you'd net more by accepting payments over time than any other way, would you be open to accepting payments over time? The reframe from the conversation helps them solve their problem. Step number 2. Structure the right purchase terms. Here's my philosophy. Give them as close to their price as you can get, but get your terms. Many sellers are most concerned about the monthly payments. Others are most concerned about the purchase price. Whatever it is, we're solving their problem. I'm totally fine paying close to retail. A $220,000 house at great terms beats a $180,000 house with bad terms or for cash. Here's why. If I buy a $220,000 house with seller financing at 0 interest, 100% of the monthly payments going toward principals, and let's say $1,200 a month, I pay exactly $220,000 over the life of the deal. But $180,000 with a 7-year interest over 10 years, that buyer pays $2,090 a month, totaling over $250,000 in total purchase price paid over time, including interest. That's $70,000 in interest alone. So while the sticker price looks higher at $220,000, the terms makes the $220,000 way cheaper and a better deal, a win for the seller and a win for you. Now let's talk about down payment. I always start at 0 down by saying we typically would buy with nothing down, okay? If they say they need down payment, then I say what's the absolute least you could accept? I'll go up to maybe 1, 2, sometimes 3% of the purchase price. Get into it with as little money as possible. I want you to net money on the front end, middle end, and back end when you go to lease option the property. Ask the magic questions like, instead of getting all your money at closing and paying taxes on it this year, wouldn't you prefer to net more money over time? Step number 3, set the monthly payment and interest. Negotiate the monthly payment and interest rate. This is where you create your own profit margin. You want the monthly payment to be below what you can rent or lease option the property for. So here's what I asked for. If we paid you over time instead all at once, what's the lease per month that you would be able to accept until I pay you off in full? Let them give you a number, because they'll often give you a number that works, substantially below the rental rate that you're going to turn around and rent it out for. For interest rate, my favorite, of course, is principal-only payments. I'll say something like, since you're getting full asking price and we're taking care of the maintenance, repairs, and taxes and insurance, are you okay with $1,200 a month? And unless they ask for interest, I'm not going to offer it. Remember, you're solving their problem, you're taking all the risks, and for example, if it's a $220,000 house at $1,200 a month at 0% interest for 15 years, you would lease option it for, say, $2,000 a month. That's $800 a month in cash flow. And yes, your tenant buyer, your lease option buyer, is responsible for the maintenance and repairs. Step number 4, set the term length and the balloon payment. I prefer as long of timeline as possible. Here's why it works better. It means more paydays from your lease option tenant, more appreciation over time, more principal pay down, and if you're paying interest, of course, more time to get that knocked out. My ideal structure is a 30-year amortization with no balloon, but sometimes, again, I will put in a balloon if the seller asks. If the seller asks me about a balloon, I simply tell them the truth. I say, after I buy the house from you, I intend to sell it to a lease option buyer who will buy it from me for more than I'm buying it from you for. Once you sell it to me, you're free and can move on, and we're working on the same team because that's when I'm going to net my final payday, is when my tenant cashes me out. And either they say, okay, and we're on the same page and we're good, or they say, I need a balloon at some point, to which we finally agree on a balloon that works for both of us. Step 5, structure your exit strategy for maximum profit. The seller finance deal creates 3 paydays through the BOFSLO method. When you buy on owner financing and you sell on lease option, you buy it with as little down as possible. The lease option tenant buyer is going to pay you more down than you put down on the property. Maybe you gave $5,000 down, your tenant buyer gives you $10,000 down. So let me explain how it works. The first payday is when your tenant buyer gives you that $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 non-refundable option deposit. This often covers your entire acquisition cost and any down payment you had to put down in the first place. Payment number 2, this is the monthly cash flow spread. If you're collecting $2,000 a month from your tenant and your payment is $1,200 or $1,400 a month, do the math. Payday 3, the back end profit, when your tenant exercises their option to buy. If you sold it for, say, $265 because you're selling it on time and you bought it for $220, you get the difference on the back end of what they owe you versus what you owe out. The key is setting up your lease option price to 5 to 10% above retail, which is often 10 to 20%, sometimes 30 above what you're paying. You profit the difference. Seller financing isn't that complicated. It's just different from what many people are used to. When you structure it correctly, it makes a win for the seller, a win for you, and a win for your buyer. The seller gets their asking price and monthly steady income. You get control of the property with little money out of pocket, plus all the write-offs, depreciation, appreciation, and your tenant gets the privilege of home ownership before they're ready. They get to set on the path to home ownership before they're ready. What's your biggest question about seller financing? Drop a comment below and I'll answer every one of them personally. While everyone else is fighting for bank loans, you can be closing deals, agreeing with sellers, and getting purchase agreements signed and growing your portfolio. I'll see you in the next video.